How's it going, guys? So I'm back from the territory. I'm still getting stuck in getting some of this stuff all cleaned up, but I have the most exciting thing that's happened. I got back just in time to see my little Gillens monitors hatching. Welcome to Beach's Scaly Beasts, where I focus on the natural keeping of herpetofauna and marine aquaria. I was a little bit worried that I wasn't going to make it back in time. I actually thought they might have taken a couple more weeks than what they have, but I've managed to hatch out my little clutch of Gillens. I'm super excited because there's 4 out of the egg, and there is another egg that's in there that's pipped. So hopefully there'll be another 5th one in there if I'm really lucky. But yeah, can't really see much just because of the tape on there. I just chucked that on as they were hatching just because I'd hate for these little buggers to somehow manage to push open the container and run around. But I am so excited. You can see one of them, little tacker in there, sitting in. Anyway, so I'm going to take you through. We're going to do a bit of a quick video. And I'm just going to show you how I set up my hatchling monitors. In particular, little stuff, you know, little dwarf monitors like these guys. And it's all just going to be using some really basic stuff that you can get just about anywhere. And this is really just for kind of like the first month of their life thereabouts. It's not something that I'd want to do long term. And I have got a few plans about what's going to go on with that rack. I'm actually going to move a few frogs onto a friend. And I think that'll open up an enclosure for these little guys to be raised up in for the next year or so. So I haven't been back for long, but I'm already getting stuck into a new build. This is a really exciting one. This one's going to be an awesome build. There's a few people that have jumped in and made this all possible. And this is very much inspired from my recent trip up to the territory. So yeah, I'm super excited. We're going to be doing a bit of an arid bioactive build. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button just so you can stay tuned for when this is actually coming out. But yeah, it's coming along so well so far. You guys can all have a guess in the comments as to what animals is actually going to go in this enclosure. I don't think there's too many people that do actually know, but yeah, as I said, there's a few people jumping on board and making this possible with a few items that are going into this tank. So this will be a really cool kind of joint effort build. So as I said, this is a very kind of temporary setup as to how I actually raise my monitors for like the first month or so of life. And I will reiterate, this is for dwarf monitors. The reason that I do it in a tub like this is I love the fact that I can have fluon around the edges so I can use woodies and they're not going to get out. Plus it means the monitors, I'm going to keep them kind of down nice and low. I'm going to keep everything low in the tub so when they run around and they're, you know, all skittish, they're not going to just fly out of the tub. So for the simple substrate in this, I've just got heaps of this on hand at the moment, so I'm just going to use some Eucalypt mulch. Sometimes I might use a mix of sand and coir peat, but this will do for this purpose. Doesn't have to be a massive amount, just a nice thin layer that's going to cover the bottom of the tub. So the next items that are going to go in, very simple, just a few hides. Actually just going to make a little bit of a cave there underneath there. Put a tile on top. These guys can wedge in underneath there and feel nice and secure. And I'll put the heat light down on this side as well. I will add another couple of little hides in there. Nothing fancy, but it's going to get us out of trouble with these guys. Whack a water bowl down in there and I'll fill it up. So yeah, as I said, super simple. So the last thing we're actually going to need is a lid. You can see I've got a big vent area down this side and it's pretty enclosed, so it's going to keep a lot of the humidity in. Underneath the lid here, I've just got a ceramic fitting with a little 25 watt halogen heat globe. I just got this off eBay for a couple of bucks, and for tiny little lizards like this, they're going to do the job. Well, this is so exciting, guys. If you've been watching the channel recently, you'll know that I was just up in the Northern Territory trying to find these guys in the wild. So to have these little guys hatch out not long after I got home, only a few days really, is just super exciting. So as I said, I just chucked that tape on just because I'd hate for one of these little guys to get out. But here we go. Here are my newly hatched Gillen's monitors. I'll take you guys off the tripod for a closer look as these guys start to get their first breaths of real fresh air. How cool are these animals? I'm so stoked to get these guys out. So originally on the 22nd of November, Mum laid a clutch of 8. 2 of the eggs went bad within the first few days. And then as they were going along, another one went bad, so I was down to 5 eggs. Now, I have got 4 out, and number 5 has actually pipped, so that's awesome. I might actually just give it a little bit of assistance and maybe make another couple of holes in there just in case it does need to get out. But I am so stoked. This is honestly one of my favourite species, and I'm really sorry to say to all of you, but I am a bit of a Gillens hoarder. So these guys are going to be staying here for a fair while. I might release one to a good mate who's been pestering me for a bit. But yeah, we'll see how we go. These guys are absolutely stunning. I love the baby patterning on these guys. Look how gorgeous they are. And watch this. As soon as we go to touch them, I bet you they start sprinting around. Usually, they come straight out of the egg. Absolutely firing. The Pygmy Mulga Monitor. So I'll help these other 3 out, see if they want to get out yet. It's been a big ordeal. So these guys took 83 days to hatch. At about 29 degrees I incubated these guys. Come on. They're nice big babies too, so that's always a good thing. I'll wait a couple of days until I actually give them a meal. I'll just start them on some extra small crickets and woodies, nothing too crazy. Yeah, these guys are absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, baby monitors straight out of the egg. They usually don't take long. And they'll be running around all over the shop. Look at how stunning this thing is. Like a lot of reptiles, they probably have lots of variated patterns and things, in particular while they're young, for camouflage. Helps them blend in with their environments. I tell you what, there was no hope of me finding a tiny lizard like this in the wild with the amount of trees that I was looking in. If you want to see the kind of habitat that these guys actually come from, make sure to go and check out my last few videos when I was actually up in Alice Springs and Uluru and that sort of area, around Yulara and Eldunda. Man, I stopped for hundreds of trees trying to find these guys in the wild. But, you know, whilst it's a little bit bittersweet that I didn't get to see these guys in the wild, it's all the better that I at least get to see them when I come home in the flesh. So this is super exciting, guys. I can't believe that we've got so many of them out. I always get a little bit nervous with Gillens because they've been one of those monitors that's a little bit of hit and miss for me to actually incubate and get them out. And I kind of felt bad from taking them from where Mum nested them. I was kind of like, maybe I should have given that a shot and actually, you know, let her nest them and see if I could hatch them inside an enclosure again, like I did the first time, or the second time I bred them. So yeah, I am super stoked on these guys. I'm not going to be scared to cook these guys whatsoever. You know, they love it nice and warm, and I need to get those metabolisms running nice and hot. You know, especially after feeling where these guys would have been hatching out in, you know, sort of this time of year. Hopefully number 5 hatches out. That'd be really cool to get 5 of them out. Yeah, as I said, well, these guys are going to be staying here for the foreseeable future and becoming part of my Gillens army. I'm up to 9, and I've actually got a couple more on the way from a friend. So yeah, hopefully down the line, I can get a whole bunch of these guys out. Start sharing them with everybody at good numbers, because they're one of those species that I get asked about so much. Where'd the other one go? I think he's down under here. Oh, there he is. So I just did something that I don't usually do, and I just wanted to make sure that this little guy was actually alright. So this is number 5. And he was just sitting in his egg all nice and comfy. So I didn't mean to kind of wake him up too much. But how cool is that? I ended up with number 5. What a beautiful little animal. So cool to see them just in your hand like this. They're such tiny little critters. I'm going to make sure that this guy's absorbed all of his yolk and everything. And if he has, I'll let him out with his brothers and sisters. Oh yeah, he's just sitting inside of his egg. Just happily being there. I actually wasn't sure if this egg was going to hatch at all. It kind of dimpled in a long time ago. So just goes to show you, don't give up on those eggs. Little things can happen, some good things. Yeah, he looks alright, from what I can see so far. Very, very cool. I decided to leave that one in the incubator. I'll probably just leave him in there for another 12 hours or so. He's just got the tiniest little bit of an umbilical scar just healing up. So I'd rather him do that in a more sterile environment rather than with all the mulch and things that could get stuck to it. So yeah, that is awesome. I'm so stoked to get 5 out. That's one bonus extra one for me. So thanks for hanging around and checking out my new little babies here. Make sure you go and subscribe, drop me a comment, and yeah, make sure to like the video as well and stay tuned for all the other stuff that I've got on the way. I've got some really, really cool videos coming out very shortly, I reckon. So thanks again, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.